This cosmic calendar compresses all of the last 13.8 billion years since the Big Bang. The star is Betelgeuse, a red supergiant in the constellation Orion. The cosmos is more complex than it seems. Those colossal events could shake the foundation of everything we see and don't see, such as a colossal star supernova, which is most feared. However, Betelgeuse has detected a sign, a supergiant red star 764 times larger than our Sun. Astronomers and scientists like Brian Cox believe it may go supernova at any moment from now. The outcome is mainly feared, as the James Webb Space Telescope reveals shocking images of the star. When exactly will Betelgeuse go supernova, and what magnitude of impact would it have on Earth? Let's find out. In the Orion constellation, a star shines so brightly that it never went unnoticed, even by ancient people. This is the famous Betelgeuse, positioned at the eastern shoulder of the Orion constellation. Its name means the giant's shoulder. Betelgeuse is the second brightest star in the Orion constellation and tops the list as one of the most luminous stars in the night sky. The star is not only outstanding for its brightness but also for its reddish color, which, as we will find out, is a danger sign. Betelgeuse has long been known to us. It was also studied by the ancient Greek astronomer Ptolemy at a time when all that was known about stars was their color. Ptolemy described the color of Betelgeuse as orange. In recent years, scientists have studied this star even more intensely and have gained a good understanding of this strangely bright star. One of these characteristics is that the star is a variable star with an apparent magnitude of 0.6. A variable star is one that fluctuates in its pulsation, which is usual for Betelgeuse. However, lately, scientists have discovered something about the star. It started in 2019 when astronomers noticed Betelgeuse acting strangely. Though it didn't completely stop glowing, it was no longer the same, as Betelgeuse had considerably dimmed, reaching a magnitude of about 1.6. Seeing the 10th brightest star in the night sky dim in this way was strange, so scientists soon started investigating. From their investigation, culminating with the peculiar signs the star has recently shown, scientists have been forced to make a terrifying prediction. According to them, Betelgeuse has a high potential to go supernova at any moment. Brian Cox is a notable figure among the scientists who made this deadly prediction. His personality is not to be taken lightly, as he is a renowned professor of particle physics working at the School of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Manchester. He is also the Royal Society Professor for Public Engagement in Science, a science program presenter, and an author of many famous science books. According to Brian Cox, Betelgeuse could blow up anytime, signifying that it is a ticking time bomb. To make things worse, the James Webb Space Telescope has revealed a truckload of information to support this announcement. But what strange signs has Betelgeuse shown to stir up so much upheaval in space science? From the recent information gathered about Betelgeuse, the star has been classified as a supernova whose explosion times have left scientists heavily guessing. One reason for this classification is that Betelgeuse is about 15 times the Sun's mass, and it only takes a star to be about 8 times the Sun's mass to qualify as a supernova. It gets even more interesting because of this. Scientists have applied many investigative measures to Betelgeuse, including using the James Webb Space Telescope and the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory to monitor the celestial activities around Betelgeuse, and it remains intriguing what they found. 6 billion years after that, our star, the Sun, was born. It was August 31st on the cosmic calendar. The star was noticed to show strange signs that made its future uncertain. But what did they find? They could detect peculiar light waves emanating from the Orion constellation, from the direction of Betelgeuse. As odd as that is, it wasn't all that scientists noticed from the star. The next discovery takes us back to the pulsation of Betelgeuse. As a semi-variable star, Betelgeuse had a typical dimming pattern every 430 days and experienced dark spots similar to our Sun's. However, 6 years ago, things began to change. Another strange sign Betelgeuse has shown recently is that it pulsates from bright to dim twice as fast as before. Strangely, in February 2021, its dimming circle was found by scientists to have reached the V-band magnitude of plus 1.614. This was shortly after the tremendous dimming event. Remember the strange dimming experienced by the star in 2019? Well, that's what we're talking about, and it is primarily referred to as the Great Dimming. We could see that the Great Dimming was the beginning of Betelgeuse's strange behaviors, which created a lot of tension that Betelgeuse was due to go supernova. The dimming range between 2019 and 2020 was at a magnitude of 1.2, with the overall dimming hitting a historical low in 2019. Because of this Great Dimming, scientists became certain that Betelgeuse would go supernova within the next 100,000 years. This is quite scary, as a supernova event is no small occurrence in the cosmos. However, scientists soon halted their conclusions because of what happened next. Following the Great Dimming, Betelgeuse recovered its brightness and progressed into something even more dramatic. According to astrophysicist Andrea Dupree at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, the star is now 150% brighter than usual, pushing it up the ladder as the seventh brightest star in the night sky. Today, the southern hemisphere of the sky exudes a red glow, which terrified scientists. Still, it gets more interesting, as this has led to many possible explanations for the cause of the Great Dimming event. We are about to explain. First, we must note that the red glow of Betelgeuse is not familiar to all stars but is a feature of stars classified as red supergiants, which is the last stage of a star's evolution and death. The red glow, however, is surprisingly due to a relatively more relaxed surface of about 3,500 Kelvin, which is much cooler than our Sun's surface, which boasts a whopping 5,500 Kelvin. One of the consequences of the lower temperature is that Betelgeuse releases a lower amount of energy per surface area unit when compared to our Sun, despite its size and the fact that it is about to explode. Now, back to the explanation of the Great Dimming. Does it signify that Betelgeuse is about to go supernova like Brian Cox says? Well, judging from the fact that Betelgeuse is a red supergiant, it was already ascertained that Betelgeuse is near its end as a star. Additionally, it is scientifically agreed upon that dimming is a common feature of a dying star. Still, Betelgeuse's recent strange behavior made scientists even more concerned, causing various observatories to focus on studying the star. These numerous studies show that some scientists don't believe Betelgeuse is about to go supernova because of the Great Dimming. The Hubble Space Telescope was one of the tools used to study Betelgeuse in an attempt to provide answers to the tremendous dimming event. Studies from this telescope were sure to astound everyone by revealing a different cause for the dimming, other than the possibility that the star was about to go supernova. From the details of the Hubble Space Telescope, scientists discovered that the Great Dimming was caused by the mass ejection of hot substances from Betelgeuse's surface. This ejection was so massive that it created a dust cloud that obscured the brightness of the star and gave it a fading effect. Another explanation for the Great Dimming came from an observation made by the ESO Very Large Telescope in Chile. Here, the observatory concluded that the star's surface temperature had fallen immensely during the Great Dimming by 170 Kelvin. However, this drop in temperature was found to have nothing to do with the dust clouds that the Hubble Space Telescope detected. Instead, they believed the Great Dimming had resulted from a phenomenon known as dark spots. In the case of Betelgeuse, the cool dark spot was said to be very large and had briefly formed on the surface of the star, thus leading to the Great Dimming. In an attempt to explain the Great Dimming, a massive telescope in Chile was also employed to unravel the truth. It was later discovered that both explanations previously given were accurate. According to the theory derived from this third explanation, the large dark spot and dust cloud played significant roles in the Great Dimming. Here, the reasoning was that a dark spot had emerged on the southern hemisphere of the star's surface and led to the overall cooling of its surrounding temperature. This, in turn, caused the star to eject a bubble of hot gas. The overall event resulted in a massive dust cloud over the star's surface, causing the Great Dimming event. Judging from these theories derived by scientists, it is clear that while scientists believe Betelgeuse is about to go supernova, there are other reasons for its strange behavior, including the Great Dimming. Still, it gets more interesting, as scientists are not done unraveling the mysteries surrounding Betelgeuse. Intriguingly, scientists are now employing the most advanced equipment to continue monitoring the fascinating events around Betelgeuse and where they ultimately lead. So far, one of the most effective monitoring equipment used to keep track of Betelgeuse is the James Webb Space Telescope, and just like it always does, this advanced telescope has revealed fascinating things about the star. One thing that scientists have discovered from using this telescope is that Betelgeuse is showing new types of pulsations. It has now shifted from showing a 430-day pulsation cycle to a 200-day pulsation cycle, which supports the fact that something major is going on in the star's core. From the latest revelation made by this telescope, scientists have been forced to conclude that Betelgeuse has a massive convection cell. The fact that the star pulsates twice as fast means it is undergoing turbulent convective activity that has forced it to eject masses of hot gas. We also have evidence of this because Betelgeuse is said to have already lost about 1 solar mass from its original mass through mass ejection. Now, the star's core is about to collapse. Once this happens, Betelgeuse will explode in a colossal supernova explosion that will shake the cosmos. In summary, it is certain that Betelgeuse will go supernova, but when this will happen remains to be answered. Here's the text formatted into a paragraph without missing or skipping any words. Dwarfed by the dark spots of Betelgeuse as it covers about 20% of the Betelgeuse surface, and the more these dark spots, the dimmer the star gets. No matter the explanation for the great dimming, scientists cannot deny that Betelgeuse is reaching its end, which would be a terrifying supernova. But what would Betelgeuse going supernova look like? Betelgeuse's evolution has been quite progressive over the years, as it took the star millennia to progress from a yellowish-orange color to red. But as Betelgeuse ages, the star is sure to meet its end eventually, and being a gigantic star, Betelgeuse is bound to end in a big bang that would shake the cosmos. There are currently numerous reasons why a supernova should be feared. Still, it gets more interesting when considering a supernova that may result from the gigantic Betelgeuse. Already, supernovas are not safe because of the high-energy radiation that is released due to the explosion. However, Betelgeuse radiation is thousands of times more significant than that of the Sun, which is scary. But things do not end here when we consider the dangers of a supernova. One problem of a supernova is that it releases X-rays and blast waves that include fast particles that can literally destroy a planet like Earth lifeless. There are currently two types of supernovas, which are both powerful. The first type of supernova involves the cases of massive stars, which explode after a brief life. The other class of supernova includes detonating white dwarf stars in binary systems. The result of both kinds of supernova is the release of blast waves and energy radiation that can reach a terrifying distance far into space. It could be the end of planets on its path. A supernova about 25 light-years away from Earth can mark the end of life on our planet, but thankfully scientists have found no close candidate who is a threat. As for Betelgeuse, scientists hold it at a safe distance from Earth, as Betelgeuse is about 640 light-years away, which is too far to harm us. We have to be about 160 light-years close to Betelgeuse to feel the impact of its going supernova. But apart from a supernova posing dangers to planets and other surrounding celestial bodies, a newfound danger has been discovered by scientists to evolve from supernova events that even distance might not hinder. This danger emanates from stars with surrounding disks at the end of their lives. When these stars finally explode, the shock waves released would likely strike these surrounding disks, making them intensely hot. Following this, the disks would exude significant X-ray radiation, which can deplete the ozone layer by 50% within a distance of 150 light-years when they are at their brightest. The result will be felt over months or years. Still, it will eventually be very costly to any planet that falls victim. Thankfully, astronomers and scientists are doing all they can to monitor our surroundings in space to ensure Earth's safety. They have also established a supernova warning system known as SNOOS. Here, the upcoming SNOOS regulator is the SNOO supernova, which entails current supernova neutrino-sensitive detectors that will be relevant for the future. Now that the safety issue has been sorted out, it is essential to know that scientists are excited about the current events in Betelgeuse. This is because the Betelgeuse supernova allows scientists to learn much about the final stages of a supergiant red star in the closest proximity possible. It is a first for scientists, as this is the first time they have had this opportunity. According to Dr. Sarah Webb, an astrophysicist at Swinburne University of Technology, Australia, we've never been able to study in this depth before. So far, monitoring events in Betelgeuse has provided scientists with more significant insights into the behavior of red supergiants that preceded their eventual explosion. And while it is not soothing to say that Earth will be basically safe even if Betelgeuse explodes, now scientists agree that the event will undoubtedly leave its mark on the Earth through various signs that may last for a week and more. Here, it is proven that Betelgeuse will be found to go so bright that it becomes visible even during the day while casting shadows at night like the moon. Research shows that an event like this may be more familiar to the Earth than in ancient times. We know this because ancient Egyptians have a similar event recorded in history, describing a time when there was a second sun in the sky. Apart from the appearance of its bright lights in the atmosphere, scientists have also explained other signs of the explosion on the Earth, and one of them would be the outburst of neutrinos on the Earth. These particles will not harm humans but will be detectable by nearby observatories. The life of Betelgeuse is said to have been a rapid one that will end rapidly, judging from its size, which took only 14 million years to attain. Unlike Earth, which is much smaller but is about 4.54 billion years old, the speed of its growth and age confirms scientists' view of the imminent danger that looks over Betelgeuse. Even though some believe these are insufficient to predict a supernova, among those who support the latter notion is Salvatore Vitali, a physics professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, who says that the light waves detected from Betelgeuse may not be from Betelgeuse itself. He also stated that neutrinos must be released and seen on Earth for Betelgeuse to go supernova, but this has yet to happen. In the end, the future of Betelgeuse going supernova remains unpredictable. Still, thankfully, we have diligent astronomers and scientists who constantly monitor the situation for new developments. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching till the end. What do you think, is Betelgeuse going supernova?